So today I'm working on my cousin's Acura Integra. It's a 1995 and he's had it for a few years. It's a good running car. However, he brought it to me because the alternator went out, so I replaced the alternator in that. Unfortunately, I did not upload a video about that, but it was about a 2-hour job. It was not very difficult, and I pulled it out of the top. Had to disconnect the fuel line, but when he brought it to me, I noticed that there was a pool of water down here in the back of the trunk. I'm talking about it was full. This whole area all down here was full of water. There was water pooled up here and water pooled up here. Now I have it parked on somewhat of a slope that goes down this way. So this side of the car was low, and when I came back the next couple of days, I noticed that there was a lot of water pooled up right here on top, and there was a little bit pooled up on this side. So also the wooden piece that goes under or on top of the tire under the carpet was also all rotted and falling apart, so it's rubbish. So it's going to have to be replaced. Nevertheless, I wanted to find out where the water was coming from, and all of these seals look good, and the seat was never wet. The water, it was just wet in the bottom of the center of the trunk. So I assumed that the water was coming from somewhere in the back, and so I traced it all the way around. All these seals look good, and what I found is that there's a couple of places where water's coming in. Primarily it's coming in through the lights. So you see that this is open into the trunk as I pull this light off, and there's just bolts that go on, or nuts on the other side of this that connect to the back side of this light. They're 8 millimeters, and I just pulled the nuts out and pulled the light off. So there's certainly some water that was getting in past here. So what I'm going to do when I put it back on is I'm going to put some caulk around these edges here as I put it back on, some silicone, and then put it back on there and seal that up. I also noticed on the right side down here, this is my nut driver I was using, there's this vent for the, I guess the trunk area back here, and it was also leaking some water around here, so I'm going to drop the bumper on the outside and put some silicone around that also to seal that up to prevent this from leaking, because it is kind of loose. I don't know if you can see it, but it does wiggle a little bit. And I sprayed it with water, and some water was seeping in here, so I definitely don't want that water. So it seems like where probably a lot of water is coming in on these Integras, especially when these seals on the back of these lights fail. Here's the light fixture. So this is just some little foam stuff here. And you can see that it's kind of deteriorated, but I think it still will seal pretty well as long as I put some silicone. You can see that where it's mating against the frame is right here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of silicone to make sure that the water doesn't get in there on all of these areas around here also. See, it's not making a good seal there, so I'll definitely cover that one well. And here it looks like it's sealing up pretty good. It's pressed into the material, the foam. This is just some foam stuff. The other thing, not only is the water coming in through there, but it's also coming in from the light itself. This was already kind of out a little bit, and these seals are in terrible shape now. You can see there's supposed to be a little bit of a seal, a rubber seal, and it's very dirty. So I'm extracting, I'm gonna pull this out and silicone this also and then put it back in there. And to pull this out, you wanna be kind of careful. It has these little clips that hold it on. These little notches at these holes like this. And I just took a screwdriver and just slowly pressed it up and started from one side. It doesn't matter which side. I started from this side actually because it's curved and you want to start at the curved area, but I started at this side and I just slowly got that one out. You know, be careful not to damage it because this is old plastic. This car's a 95, so it's going to be easy to damage this, and I don't want to buy any new ones. And I popped it out of there, out of that one, and then popped it out of this one also. And then I popped that one out, and so I'm slowly just working my way around, and I'm going to take it out and then put it back in there. some silicone glass. Presume that a lot of you who have Integras are having the pool in the back of your trunk. This is probably why. There may be a couple other areas where it could possibly be leaking, and I'll show you that. There is a drain hose for your automatic antenna. The antenna comes down here and comes through here. This is the whole mechanism here. This one's broken, it's just stuck up, but we're not gonna change that. But this drain hose, because in the event that water does seep in through here, it's allowed to come down and come in here and drain out the body, out the side. It's connected to the outside of the body out that way. So just make sure that that hose is connected or not obstructed, so it's not backflowing. And this hose is connected. You can see it is flowing. It's out here on the body, so that's dry. Number 8, 5/16 nut driver.
Disconnect. Electrical connector. Sends the signal to all the lights. And there are 2 more back here. There's 3 more. So I didn't take the side panels all the way off. I just removed them enough where I could get to the access the lights. I see back here in the back what's happening.
So when removing the light, I've gotten it loose all the way around. You can see I've freed it from these clips all the way around, but it is stuck on the end. So just in case, there is one screw on the end right there, and that will allow the light to come out. Cover the lens anyway. So we'll undo this. Take the screw out. Hopefully not lose it. Now I think the light will come off. It's sealed pretty well there. I'm trying very hard not to break the lens. I'm being very careful. Yeah. But you can see that I finally pulled it out and I got it apart, and there we go. So you can see all of the gunk and stuff and down in the bottom where water has gotten in there. So I'll definitely clean all of that stuff out. Look at the inside here. Yeah. See all of that? That's water damage right there. So water was getting inside the light. Will certainly prevent. See how wet it is right there? You can even see how moist it is still in these areas. So we'll certainly correct this problem. He also had a problem with the lights going out because I think the water was getting so high in here sometimes that it was actually backing up into the socket and falling through the socket into the trunk also. So once we seal these lights up, we should be good to go. So the light was really dirty, and I've been cleaning it off and washed all the dirt and stuff out of it. And there was some dirt in between this piece, and this goes on the very corner, and this was on there like so. Now, it doesn't clip on or snap on. It just had it just had 2 places of glue right there and right there. And so these 2 pieces, they fit together like so. And so I just need to put a little bit of glue right there and some over here, and we'll glue it back together. And before I put it back in there, I also want to get all of the remaining plastic of the dried up sealant that was on there before. So I'm just scratching this off with a knife. Being very careful, when you utilize a pocket knife, you don't want to pull the knife towards you, because then If it slips, you may stab yourself. You usually want to work away. You can move towards you if you brace with your thumb. That way you're not pulling with your whole arm, but you definitely don't want to cut things towards you. Just a safety tip. So you want to kind of work away. I'm gonna get all this excess stuff off of here, just to do the best I can. I just don't want it sticking up where it's going to impede the seal of the new seal that I put on there.
You see it just comes right off. And our friend. Alright, got that side. Got all this stuff out of here too.
Looks like the outside's pretty clean now. And don't forget to get the stuff. There were some pieces here on the inside that I got. There's another one right there on that lid, right? See that? So it has sealed all the way around to keep the water out of here. I'm just going to renew the seal, because this is not working anymore and water's getting in here. Yeah, so I think we can seal it now. So we'll put some new caulk all the way around here, where you see where it has the old caulk was, the sealant. We'll put it on the inside, the outside, and we'll seal it right back up there. I also have to clean out this part. So what I'm gonna do is, when I reassemble it, what I'm gonna do is just fill up this area here, this recess where the plastic slides into. I'm going to fill that up with my caulk and just press it in there and seal it up and kind of shimmy it and make sure it seals up well, and then clip it all back together and go. But before I put it back together, I got some cleaning to do, get all this stuff off of here, clean out all the old recesses, all the old caulk that's in there, all the sealant. I want to get all that out so I can get it all the way down in there and seal it up in this plastic again. There's a little boot in there. All this is the remaining caulk. I'm going to try to get as much of that out as I can. I might leave some of it. We just want it to seal, so just want it to seal between that caulk and the plastic to seal it in there. So you can see there it is. So I'm going to clean it up and start putting it back together. So I cleaned out all of the old sealant inside here. This took quite some time. It took a couple of hours just to clean it out. And I took a razor blade, a box cutter, and cut it through here. Cut it down one side, around the outside all the way, and then cut it on the inside all the way. And then took a screwdriver that would fit in between here, a small one, a flat tip, and just worked it up all the way around. This did take quite some time to get it all out, but now the lens goes in there very nicely and it clips in. I had a problem with one that wouldn't clip in, so I had to take all the other sealant out. So now I'm going to reseal it. Got some all-purpose silicone. Make sure you get some outdoor stuff. There probably could be better sealants, but it's on the weekend and I wasn't able to get. Maybe we'll look around enough to get a really nice sealant, but this should do it. This is for windows and doors. This is for exterior. I'm using clear, not black, because just in case I make any mistakes, and this shit seems to get everywhere. So I just got some clear, so in case I make some mistakes, it'll be easy it'll be see-through. So here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up the channel with some silicone. I'm going to put quite a bit of it in there, and it's going to gush out, but I'm going to put it probably a little bit halfway of this channel all the way around, and then I'm going to squeeze the light in there and let it cure. usually want to have a towel ready because, like I said, this stuff seems to get everywhere. Starting on this end, on the corner, it's made to press in like this because this has a little notch on it right there. So I'm going to push that notch in there, seal that up. Start pressing in. Just dropping a bead of caulk all the way down it, considering what enough will be, just trying to fill up the channel halfway. It's okay if it's a little bit too much, you can wipe that down later. Okay. When you get done with the caulk gun, you want to hit the button so there's no pressure on it so it won't leak out so much. Making sure that all these clips made it in there. It's a little bit warped, it's not wanting to hold properly. Might have to put a clamp on that to seal it. It won't hold itself. Yep. Definitely have to get a clamp on that. While I still have some caulk, what I'm going to do to completely seal it, I'm going to run a bead around the entire outside so that there will definitely not be any water getting in here. This may be even preferable than taking it completely off. It's just running a small bead around the outside and sealing it. So if you don't want to remove that and it is leaking inside of here, that's what I would do. I would just get some clear caulk and just bead it up around here and just seal it from the outside, and that would also work. But I wanted to see what was up and I wanted to clean it on the inside, so I did not do that. If you get any in places that you don't like, it's easy enough to dry up and take off when it's dry, so no worries. I think the seal that we put on the inside is going to be enough, but this will definitely make sure that it won't. This is not going to leak for quite some time. All right, there's one. These are little plastic clips. Seems like taking the bumper all the way off would demand taking this off, and that's going to take a lot more work. So I'm just going to do the best I can, just removing those few pieces so I can drop it down enough to silicone this vent here. I'm just going to put a little bead around the outside of it. At least on the top and the sides, at least it'll drain down so it won't come inside the car. To do it. It's got that sealed up. Sometimes they sag on the corner here. It's because the mount has no support on the end. I was just trying to bend it up some where it would fit better. Better fit than what it was. Different spot, perfect, but it's better. It was sagging pretty bad. Now we're going to make some new gaskets for it. It is sealed on the top, these rubber foam gaskets. So we're going to add some more sealant and scrape this stuff off. To get the gasket off without tearing it, because I need it as a stencil for the other ones, I'm just going to use a razor blade. Simple. So these things are like $25 each or so. We're gonna make some out of just a couple bucks. It's just foam. So these two gaskets are symmetrical. So we're just going to make some more. I bought this roll of foam at the hobby shop for about 10 bucks. And I'm just gonna make some new gaskets. It's not as thick as the original. This is about 5 millimeters thick. This is about 2. They didn't have the 5 millimeter stuff, so it'll work just the same though. I'm gonna seal it on the top with some silicone anyway. So we're just gonna make some new ones here. I think it should work pretty well. Looks like it will. Yeah. All right, let's make another one. Look at there, perfect fit. Oh yeah. So this is the top of the light. I'm definitely going to put a sealed caulk right in here. Seal it up so that it runs around and down the bottom of the light. We're ready to reinstall now.